Okay, so this is my second attempt because I had to look at the date because I just was looking about Lionsgate's. So okay. So recently, this is like the second week of September, to my understanding. Right, we in September we had Lionsgate, which ended, and and I was saying to in the middle towards the end of the video of my first attempt doing this video that there's a lies deception in this world, why things are not been slow progress of having new earth, Christ conscious communities, why it's not happening because people don't take responsibility. Nobody wants to do things. So and people lie and deception about things, whether in a religious or non-religious or non-spiritual community, spiritual community. There's been a lot of lies and deception, especially like Lionsgate. Lionsgate is not actually a great opportunity. Lionsgate is a passage of a test of advocating people to be more conscious by putting a lot of trials to focus on. So it's not actually a happy event. It's a signal to people to be forced to awaken certain parts of themselves that needs to be developed. That's what Lionsgate's about, basically. So basically, you're forced to find your inner raw again in a different form. So, for example, for me, I'm forced, and Lionsgate's is forced me to advocate myself and about women's right and equality, and the fact that there's still social injustice with people who are disabled and ethnic minority, right? And being a female. Even though I do believe men of all races or the men have that need to advocate rights, but until then, women are not getting the rights, and unfortunately, the sort of feminines had to become masculines, and now women are not actually representing any role, and if men do need help, they're not getting represented either because of the fact that it's run by distorted masculines, feminines, and distorted masculines as well. So it's like a double-edged sword. To actually have a real new order of life, a new whole world, the male and feminine needs to be whole. That's the still African thing. Why people are awakened by Christ consciousness and the new being spiritually awakened about true union and oneness in communities, society in this planet. Unfortunately, not enough people are waking up to reality that it can't just happen out of blue. It has to be a consciousness and reality of oneself, a mindset, and also a community of people to gather to make it so. And it's been delayed. Sadly, it's been delayed. So there has to be a lot of things going on, of a lot of waves of discomfort for people to wake her up. So for me, I had to accept that it's okay to say I'm in crisis, to surrender my ego and say, okay, I have to honor myself by surrendering and saying that I'm in crisis, being a disabled woman in Oxfordshire, UK, where there is no advocacy support for someone like me, and the disability charities don't represent people, and there's no advocacy in disabled, and unfortunately the council social services disability do not have any humanity towards disabled people, let alone people of colour. And it's just like, really, that's not good. I'm being registered all my life I've been disabled, it's, and we know that most of those who are highly conscious are those who called crystalline rays, rainbow children, indigo children, earth angels, whatever you could say, right? Basically, those who are spiritually pure, creation of God, consciousness, are more likely to be disabled. And unfortunately, that's a threat to society and the spiritual world. That is a threat. Because to my understanding, even Jesus Christ was disabled. He was. To be highly conscious, you had to have some part of your ego, physical and mental, emotional ego, to be collapsed, to be a leader in some way. Because Jesus was humble enough to say that he needed help daily. That's how he was able to be so thin was very well with him, because he was disabled. And create so much unusual miracles because the fact that he put his hands in the heavens and asked the angels and deities and whatever, send the beings to give him the counsel he needed. Is even still, there was some parts that was not taken away in the Bible about him, about prophets like Elijah and all that kind of stuff came to him. Was one of the witness apostles that put that in their book. So, in which we were called ascended masters, but in religious communities they might not say that. There you go. But it's getting to the point. So that's my view about Lionsgate. That it's just basically force you to focus on things that you need to focus on, your health, your anything, and it's so just bringing out the worst things in life to you, to what you need to improve and help. So it doesn't attract things that you want, good things. Instead, it forces you to ground more. Force you to rule the things that need to be ruled about. So yeah. Including being conscious about what's around you too. Force you not to deny certain things. So it's not faint-hearted, there's been lies a lot about that. And I think there should be more people that be honest about what's about Lionsgate or any other portals that's opened. Yes, there are some good portals that does happen, but the most portals that do most activation are usually the ones that force you out of your comfort zone, force you to admit that maybe you have to surrender things that you don't like saying like, oh yes, I have to call, say that I'm mentally psychologically in crisis because of my physical and well-being is not met, being registered disabled, so therefore I'm not having a community, and so I'm being burnt out, so now I have to say I'm in crisis is not exactly what I like to say, because I've done that before, and things was really bad happened, but I still have to surrender because that's the direction that the tree nymphs showed me, that I need to bend and bend when I was doing some artwork, that I need to bend, surrender which direction is going, and at the moment direction is that I'm in crisis, so therefore I have to accept that I'm in a bottom where I have to say, okay, I'm in crisis, and while in crisis I have to go into the other realm and say, okay, now I surrender this, my enemies, what they want me to do, now it's your turn to to bring forth all the other people that are meant to be representing me, that it come forth. Okay? Because now that I'm on the bottom, you now just do your side. Because I surrendered. I surrendered that I physically cannot do what I can. I surrendered to the system to say, yes, I am all the help and facilities, and there's none. So now it's your turn to do something. And that's how it works sometimes. Not the other way around, you know. And hope some big miracle happens. Because I lost my disability money, because I was wrongly advised, ill advised, by some charities that, and because there's some really, really bad ill situation where you're registered disabled, but you cannot disability money, which is ESA, which is another form of sick paid long-term allowance, where you say that you're long-term medically not able to work, so it's called ESA. I can't remember the name of that. That's very complicated. And then you got top with Pip. Pip was taken away by an evil woman who is ethnic minority, who is distorted in every way that she could be. I wasn't surprised if she hated being a female, let alone hate being of colour. Just be honest. Most of our enemies are the ones that hate themselves the most. Because they're enemies. Hence why I one time asked why I have to pray for my enemies. And I was like, spiritually asked. And I said, well, you need to pray your enemies that cannot hurt themselves. Because when they're hurting others, they're hurting themselves. And that's the fact, the reality. So that's what I've done. And maybe I should pray more of that too, maybe, so that be oneness in this, create more oneness in the community. But sometimes I just feel I can't, because I've seen so much evil in this world, so much people who have joy killing people. There's even a nurse that's been investigated to say that she enjoyed killing babies. Okay, that's a side distorted and feminine that we live in, where feminines enjoying causing mayhem within their own sisters and brothers, let alone children. Women was built to be compassion, to be like Gaia, Tara, whatever earth name you of this planet you want to call. They were meant to be mothers like the earth, reflection. Even our physical bodies are built to conceive the emotions around us, our environment. You know, men, they release. With women, we conceive emotionally and physically. Hence why we're more less have energy, because we conceive the environment that around us more than men do. Let's be honest, the physical facts of life. And we're going against nature, so much so that the world is being unbalanced. To be able to be a true divine feminine Christ conscious being, oneness of light, you have to accept every aspect of yourself, the lightness and the darkness and of nature, what's built for you and who you are naturally, nature, structure of you, the reflection of you. And women, we are more close to the physical and spiritual realm than men. That's the truth. And that's why females are always being attacked in the physical and the spiritual realm, because the fact that we represent both. We are the portals of both. and those who women, true divine feminines, true women are not allowed to be in the centre pot. We're being put underneath. But this is the time for us to rise again and say no more. Every century was meant to keep on rising forth, not just say, okay, it's good now, we don't need to. No, we have to keep on going. That's the problem. Why society collapsed, because we came on like saying, oh, we're good now, we don't need to do more now. But we have to make sure things are secure. Once you don't claim and secure things, things are taken away like anything. Spiritually, mentally, and physically taken away, because we did not secure what's ours, or reclaim what's ours, or protect what's ours, what's sacred of us as divine feminines, including our counterparts. Because we've been being built for centuries not to claim anything. Or feel the right of not having for ourselves. And we don't realise that what we claim for ourselves actually ripple affects society. The environment, the community that we live in, and the physical reality of what we live in, as well as the spiritual reflection of what we live in. You know, it's nothing wrong as well to say that you're in crisis. Yes, you may be spiritual, religious, or both, or neither, but it's all right to say you're in crisis, because it's maybe something else going to step forth. A miracle might happen because you surrender and say, I've got nothing now. I'm now surrendering. I got 10 of swords. And people think 10 of swords are bad. 10 of swords could actually mean that a new rebirth. To say surrender that you cannot physically take the swords out, but the lights, but the physical, the unseen realm can intervene to call someone to help you to get the swords out, recuperate, and get well again. To go back to the next battle that you need to go. And maybe you might be crowned to be the Queen or King of Swords. Or both. Because sometimes I think I probably am built to be the Queen. Even though I was born as the Queen of Hearts, I've somehow been forced to train to be the Queen of Swords. In some ways, maybe I was subconsciously were the Queen of Swords, because I'm such a truth teller, and truth tellers are swords. Angelic round is a sword, right? Because she's pointing up, not down. The Queen of Swords. She looks in up. She's surrendering her counsel from the other higher realms, because she knows that nobody else can give her the help or counsel. The only truth and support that she gets is of the higher realm. She's the strongest. She's one of the top strongest cards in the realm. Queens in the realm. Okay? And the metaphysical, the Queen of Swords. And she accepts that times that she's abandoned, she's alone, and the only thing that she's got is a higher realm, the celestial realm, to get her up. Day in, day out, to use justice and mercy in all, and also she also represents the Lady of the Lake. All right. As well as the Morrigan, which another form of the Morrigan, okay, which is also like a, so which you can do your research on that part, but I'm just giving you highlights of what I've been sharing, my learning and journey of what's happening to me in 2024, September 24, 27 years old, coming up to 28 years old in November 22nd, and knowing that things are completely, utterly fall apart again, you know, being unclaimed by and rejected by their counterpart. Spiritually have not, but the physical self has. So it's just like trying, where there's no community for her, nothing, and she's trying her best to go without all the things that's been rejected by everyone and everything, and trying to remain as a pure, the feminine, Christ-conscious being, a celestial being of light, a true oneness being, despite her being angry, frustrated, even angry of her origins, angry for forcing to remember something that cannot be, or even forced to show a future that has not happened or been delayed. You know, I feel like you're not appreciated in this world, not noticed, not heard. And forced to be destitute over and over again, and thinking, when will I rise forth with royalty, garments, and whatever, you know, and have someone truly on my side. When will I no longer be abused, neglected, forsaken in this world? When it's over? When will this world of suppression and hell be over? And when will this heavenly new earth life happen? Because I've tried everything. I've tried everything you can think of, and I'm still not, things are not still right for me. Not right around me. Yes, I might have some small miracles happening, but I mean the real solid things happen, you know. That really life-changing happening. Because all got life-changing happening is more crisis. That's the reality that I'm dealing with, you know. Because that's the truth of true, authentic leadership and journey, is that it's not a pretty picture. It's not what religion or spirituality goes on like, oh yes, if you believe this, you get out of your problems. No, the real reality is that you're going to go through a real long pilgrimage where you are alone in a wilderness for a long time, and you have to manifest and go through, forced to go within a lot, and go into the unseen realms for help a lot. And anyone that comes in your life, you know it's because it came through the unseen realm. That's a fact. And it's a miracle if they are permanent in your life. For me, no one's been permanent in my life. Nobody's actually been there for me. Even my mother thought she was there for me, but she wasn't. I never actually had a real mother. The only mother I actually felt like I had was the earth herself. That sounds crazy, but that's how it is. or the unseen mother of the deities, right? Because that's all I really had. Because I was forced to see the actual real truth beyond this physical illusion. Because this physical is a physical illusion to see. Because once everything in the physical realm is stripped from you, you're forced to see the unseen realities of many unseen realities there is. And I'm forced to get the power that you need to in this so-called physical world that we live in, okay? Because every reality is real. It's not false, but it's real. But those false illusions where you're forced to feel like you're powerless, there's no goodness in this world, and you just have to say, advocate the unseen realm, this higher realm, saying, help me to believe there is goodness in this world. If you don't feel like there is no goodness in this world, say, like, I'm forced to live, feel like to end my life, if it's not meant to be, please give me the sign that I'm meant to live, right? Meant to not be in the brink of distress and hopelessness. You know, it's wise with strength to say you're in crisis. It's nothing wrong with saying that. That's a strength itself, to say that you're surrendering your loss, your battle. To win, you have to say you lost. A lot of people don't tell you that. Sometimes to actually truly win, you have to say you lost. To actually truly win. That's all I got to say today. You know, and I'm concerned to women. It's like, it's sad that there's no, that, you know, the real advocacy for women. There's no real, you know, there's no real help with disability communities, no ethnic communities. There's no real actual help because most of the women are distorted and masculines are distorted, and it's like there's no real leadership, and there's very few percenters left, and most of them are outcast in society. That it's illegal to actually help people. That's the reality that we live in. I hope that's going to end very soon. Because I'm a tired soul, a tired ancient body soul that's gone through so much traumatic things. But I know I have to believe there is going to be a breakthrough because I honour myself by admitting myself the truth that I'm in crisis and I have to call helpline so I can get my essential human rights needs. And I don't know, I have to face my complete fears in life. The face that my counterpart rejected me last year, that was so painful. But I needed to understood why in my soul that I didn't see him when Angel Michael showed me about things, because he's not in that present moment of where I am at yet. Because I'm meant to be the divine feminine to lead back to humanity again, to the masculine finding its true self. I have to be an example. You know, that's all I could be, example. And hopefully, I believe that the promise that was shown in the future, that we'll be together, even though it's not convenient for me as a feminine who feels like, well, I'm getting old and I have a health concern and I may not have children. I'm probably be denied that being. But I have to believe actually, if it's meant to be, the universe will make a miracle child for me that I'll be able to conceive. You know, that kind of thing. Because as I said, you know, there's a lot of complications happening in this end time as well zone that we're living, where we're forced to rebirth again, and you know, it's very hard. You know, so for me, I've gone through a lot of lost counterpart. You know, the only thing to find out why he never looked for me, spiritually looked for me, or physically looked for me, because he just couldn't. And I got my answer, right? The only thing that I got was the answer, right? Or feel that he's worthy, or believe that it was possible. And I'm just that person who's advocating the world that what's impossible is possible. And that's very lonely and isolating, hermit mode. From a young age, I was forced to be a hermit. And it's not enjoyable. It's not fun. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's completely, utter horrible. Because even the people that you accompany, you still feel like a hermit. Even though you're surrounded by people, you're still a hermit. Because people don't know what's really going on around them. They switch all their abilities and senses off. So they're desensitized. They're not aware. They're not being 100% true themselves. Being honest about themselves, let alone other people. Especially when it comes to gatherings, and as people will say they're celebrating, but really there's still no real unionship that there should be, which is really sad. But that's the reality that we live in still, you know. Anyway, that's all my thoughts today. Printing like divine pure of essence. Because that's a mission that was given to me. Mission named Pure Love Essence. Because to bring pure love essence in this world again. To find pure love essence again in one's world. Alright, thank you. Bye.